Welcome to the VSA Morning Miner. It's Wednesday, excuse me, the 11th of May, and it's me, David Scriven, and Paul Rankin. How are you today, sir?
Oh, not too bad at all, thanks. And it seems like a nice day outside too. Got some wind.
Indeed, indeed. Well, let's get the wind in your sails about the Morning Miner, sir. And just noted about Botswana diamonds, and looks like this I can't pronounce it, Gahu mine in Botswana. The expiration of the exclusive option. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this situation with AIM-quoted Botswana Diamonds, the Southern Africa Diamond Explorer, they had a exclusive option with the AIM-quoted Gem Diamonds in order to acquire or try to acquire the Gagu mine, which is an underground ramp access modern mine and plant in Botswana. That was put on care and maintenance several years ago. But even with extension here, Botswana and Gem Diamonds both put out press releases separately that Botswana hasn't been able to come up with the finance on the terms that they had agreed. So that exclusive option is now expired. Now, I had met with Gem Diamonds management just this past week, and they had indicated that, and they also say in their own press release that they would still be willing to entertain the offer on essentially the same terms with Botswana if they were still able to source finance going forward here. It's just not non-exclusive any longer. And all I can say is it doesn't seem to be the purchase price because we're only talking, from the numbers I've heard, we're only talking pennies on the dollar as far as replacement value on all the mine development and the operating plant there at Gagu. So it's about investor uh, disinterest on investing in early stage diamond stories. I think on a global basis, which is rather shame because the you have to take the clear fact that the rough diamond prices now are double what they were back when the Magagu mine closed. So there's still a real opportunity here, I think.
Yeah, I think that's an important point. So moving on, in terms of Aura, it looks like the Almas mine is advancing on budget and on schedule, and interestingly, importantly, seemingly able to mitigate inflation in all operations, and bringing two in at the same time. Triple Flag's results looked pretty positive.
Yes, the first ones you mentioned, TSX listed Aura Minerals, reported production Q1 results yesterday, and they came in at a little bit lower output here, not by 9% at 61,000 gold equivalent ounces. But they have maintained their full year production guidance for the year at something over 260,000 ounces gold equivalent. And Aura did say, which is kind of different for most of the mining industry at this point, that so far they've been able to mitigate the inflationary costs on operations at their activities here in Brazil at present. So we'll see whether or not they can hold to that, particularly given fuel price pressures and increasing labor costs as we go here. So, but that is encouraging at this point in time. For Triple Flag, the royalty company, also with Q1 results out today, they also declared a dividend as well, which is pretty good for a company that hasn't been in activity for a very long period of time as a public company. Quarterly dividend, US dollars 4.75 cents, to be paid on June the 15th. Performance-wise, revenue was up 7% to 38, or just shy of $38 million, and there was an 83% increase in net earnings, however, to just shy of $16 million. Cash costs on their gold equivalents came in very, very, very low at just $151 an ounce. And their asset margin of 92% would suggest that they're going to be making and printing money here fairly strongly here in coming quarters as long as this current situation lasts.
Sounds encouraging indeed. And what I should have done is when we were talking about dams, I should have mentioned hot off the press, hot from Mr. Monk. His mining in Indaba tip is TSX listed Botswana diamond producer Lucara Diamonds. So feast your eyes on that one, I would suggest. A couple of other things, because there's quite a lot of things that we could discuss, and we're tightish for time. Sol Gold, I noted they'd appointed Aiton Saradas, and I wonder what your thoughts were on that for the position of CFO. And just caught my eye a little bit was Kalamazoo Resources in the context of the fact, although I think it's early stage, but you know, it's far better. But the acreage is not too far from some pretty huge spodumene deposits in the sort of Pilbara area.
Yes, in this situation with AIM-quoted SolGold, the Ecuador copper gold mine finder, they appointed Aiton Saradas to the position of Group Chief Financial Officer. She's held that particular role with a number of both ASX and US based natural resource companies over the years here. So you have to say very well experienced in order to cover that situation. I'm not sure she's worked with as large a firm up to this point in time as SolGold is becoming. So it may be something that she's looking forward to as far as getting more involved in the larger cap sorts of mining stories than previously. On Kalamazoo Resources, that's ASX quoted, and not only do they have a really interesting copper gold project going on in Australia, they have early stage exploration going up in the Pilbara to the east of the Pilgangoora big spodumene mine deposits up there by about 80 kilometers. SQM, the Chile brine lithium producer and potash producer, is in joint venture with Kalamazoo, so they obviously think there's potential in this acreage. And Kalamazoo has reported that on license E45 4700, they have found outcropping mineralization, which contains the lithium mica lepidolite. So it's still very early stage, and they're still doing the baseline soil sampling over this acreage, but it is proving to have quite a lot of indication for lithium presence, and they'll be setting up drill targets in due course.
Sounds great. Perhaps in the interest of time, we'll call it a close here, unless, Paul, there's just something that maybe we should interject at this moment. Otherwise, we might call it a day and wish everybody a good day.
I think it looks pretty good at this point. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks very much.
Mm-hmm.